Hi, this is Wolf Tech, and thank you for enjoying that little freeze frame of me just checking you, checking out who shows up. This is coming directly to you through the power of the internet. My co-hosts today are Pierce and Orange. Mr. Orange, can you speak up, Mr. Orange? Orange, there. And he talks back. He is my cameraman. He's not operating the camera. He's just checking out the wires to make sure everything's working out all right. But anyways, we've this morning or whenever, very early this morning when I was asleep, and then all the news unfolded. The Nintendo investors meeting had some interesting details. Now, before I go into this, I will tell you this straight up and very clear. First and foremost, an investors meeting is simply a event where a company informs their investors of their profit margins and their general goals for the following year and explaining as to why the last year wasn't so particularly good or was awesome. And that is the simple fact of the matter. It's mostly just talking about numbers, and it's mostly about saying, we will do better next time. So, it is just that simple. Give you a moment to think about that. An investors meeting is not a major showcase event for your high-end software or hardware or any major products for that matter. It is just a general thing that they do periodically to show off to the people who invested their money in the company that they are going to do better next time. Exactly. Monster Irish Blend. And that is the first thing we have to walk away with in understanding an investors meeting. It is just to do just that. Now, the fact that Nintendo has given out more interesting information about their current plans going into the future, and also that Kimishima, uh, I can't pronounce his first name, I got his last name. Is that correct? Has also stated in rough translation in a Q&A session that about, say, I'm going to start with the current systems, that the Nintendo Wii U will cease production roughly in 2018, which will give the Wii U a 5-year lifespan. That is the standard. That is the old standard. That was the standard before the PlayStation 3. And let's move on from there. Now, the games that we know of that were announced prior to the investors meeting and may have been mentioned in the investors meeting are nothing substantial for the Wii U. There is not going to be much in substantial stuff for the Wii U. There's Tokyo Mirage Sessions and all the other stuff we already knew about that was not talked about really much in the investors meeting. And that's about it. The 3DS will still have a ton more games, and that wasn't talked too much about the investors meeting. It was mostly just projected forward in goals, as we should say. And first and foremost, what is known, first things first, E3 will have pretty much Zelda Wii U, and there will be no NintendoNX games shown off there. The Zelda Wii U is the only playable game at E3. Nintendo did not specify a whole lot other games that will be shown off at E3, but E3 will mostly be a showcase for Zelda Wii U, which points to given the next bit of information we already know is that Zelda Wii U is also now be on the NX, and that the NX will be released in March 2017. Now, many people are quite baffled by that release date, but first and foremost, Nintendo has a history of releasing consoles in the spring. A long time ago, they did that more commonly in many territories with their home consoles, and very commonly with their portables. It was only really in the United States in which Nintendo was predominantly in the fall or late fall, early holiday season. So there you go. In fact, I've seen people bring up and show information that Nintendo has pretty much released most of their consoles outside the United States, in Europe and other places, in the spring and summer, which is interesting. And I could say this for a fact that Nintendo could quite simply be taking a blue ocean strategy move here and simply avoiding the big hoopla that is going to occur this October, November, December with the PlayStation VR, the PlayStation 4K, or the PlayStation 4.5, or whatever the next generation PlayStation micro generation is going to be, and the same thing with the Xbox. And I was originally going to do a video on the Xbox, but basically it's the same kind of deal. It's going to be just a micro generation movement right there. It's going to be updated version of Xbox One with some extra features. That's about it. And that, besides Zelda Wii U, there's also been an announcement, it's been in the meeting, that Animal Crossing and a Fire Emblem game will be coming to mobile, and they'll be targeted around autumn, like August, September, October. And they will be their own games, but they will be mobilized games of the franchises. Now, many people are questioning whether that Nintendo is going to put a full featured Animal Crossing game on mobile or a full featured Fire Emblem game on mobile. And Nintendo's statements in the past talking about mobile and indicated in the investors meeting largely point around to a light variant of it. It will be a light version of Animal Crossing. It will be just a taste. A taste much like this very tasty Monster Java Irish blend, which is very tasty. Oh my god, that's smooth and tasty. I'm going to put my mailing address in the description box. and I should check other details. Anything else? The NX is confirmed. March. Yeah, I pretty much covered everything except that the NX is not a replacement to the portable 3DS and the stationary Wii U, which is roughly the statement in which Kimishima stated. So that is interesting detail. The fact he stated portable and stationary. And based on any and all statements by Nintendo, what is the Nintendo NX? Well, many people keep asking. It is a strange question. Is it going to be a portable? Is it going to be a console? Well, Nintendo, every time referring to what is the Nintendo NX, Nintendo states that the Nintendo NX is a new platform with a new concept. Now, Nintendo considers the eShop a platform. It considers Windows a platform. It considers 3DS a platform. It considers a mobile phone a platform. Nintendo considers a website or the internet a platform. Nintendo considers Facebook a platform. The concept of platform to Nintendo is a service or a system in which you do things and things happen. All we could know is that the Nintendo NX could simply be nothing more than a streaming box, and the actual NX concept behind it is essentially like Steam. And there is that one very interesting patent by Nintendo where the console did not have an optical drive in it, or the device did not have an optical drive. And I'd be very sad if that's the case, because I like physical media. So at this point, all the information has been twisted around, and a new accounting of points and scores for all the rumors and all the facts. And I think if E3 occurs as it is stated by this investors meeting, Emily Rogers is most likely going to take a hit in her score, in her credibility score. It's probably going to fall from the 70s down to the 60s and 50s, which then means she's no longer that special a source. So she's been wrong in the past. A few more times, and she's just going to end up like every Joe Schmo. So there you go. And so far, some information comes true and some information does not. Good sources go crummy, and crummy sources sometimes produce something good. But anyways, as I said before, getting back to the NX release, that it is most likely to avoid, Nintendo's trying to avoid the PlayStation 4K, the new Xbox, and PlayStation VR, and all the other VR headsets like the Oculus Rift, and the HTC Vive. And Nintendo's just trying to let that stuff blow over, and then speak, and let it be heard. Now, the only true issue, illy billy bits beyond that, is 2015 was an okay year. It was an okay year. 2016 is looking pretty rough. And I'm happy I'm a multi-console gamer. It's a good thing. And don't forget that. Have a wonderful night. Please leave your thoughts in the comments. Please vote. Please share. And I'm just hand gesturing. That's not sign language. I'm just woo. My creepy kitty. Wow, 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 wow. He's pissed off at me. He's not a happy kitty. Mr. Pierce. He's a grumpy cat. You are grumpier than Grumpy Cat. My goodness. He is pissed. Well, good night. Piercy, Piercy, Piercy. He's not a cheerful cat.